If you don't intervene early, you always have problems. Like when you go into a triage, you don't say, well, see, who's, you always pick the one that's the most critical. And so that's kind of the theory of Read and Recover. We pick the most critical child.
In my role as coordinator for the Conestoga Drug Court, we often see people in our program who do not have a lot of education. Many of them don't have a GED when they come to us, and we have several who probably barely read above a third grade level. And this causes them some struggles in a variety of ways, but it causes them struggles in their ability to gain employment. They can't read job applications. They often don't understand simple contracts to negotiate business at all. And it's put them in a position often where, because they can't read and because they can't get gainful employment, they'll do whatever they have to do to get by. And in many cases, this has led to some criminal thinking, to find ways to manipulate the system or be resourceful and get through life however you can. And it's led many of them down a wrong path because they just don't have the education they need.
As a college basketball coach for 15 years, there was lots of kids that were really good basketball players that wanted to play in college, but because they didn't learn to read at an early age or weren't quite as proficient as they needed to be, it held them back and actually reduced a lot of opportunities that they would have had athletically had they learned to read. So reading is not only important to school, to learning, to developing, to getting a good job, but say a young person loves sports. The learning to read, learning to learn are going to be crucial aspects in that young person being able to go as far as they'd like athletically as well.
Well, obviously, if you don't graduate from high school anymore, you don't have much of a chance to have decent employment in this country. And even more so now, if you don't attain something past that, technical schools, colleges, or whatever. And once again, the indicators are one of the leading indicators. If they're not on grade level by the end of the third grade, they're not going to graduate from high school, or certainly if they do graduate from high school, that will be the end of their education career.